Hey everybody, welcome to I guess the the special here live show. Um, got a pretty big card ending tonight, I guess, in the NASCAR world. So I'm just first time actually doing it live here from our new studios. So we'll see how that goes. Looks like I can see Misha's in the chat and Ken is in the chat. Welcome, guys. Let me go over to YouTube and see. Okay, good. It's coming over there. Awesome. All right. So it looks like I don't know. Logan is MIA right now, but we'll see if he joins us later or not. Kyle Katz, awesome, high octane cards. Welcome, guys. Um, yeah, we got a big card ending today. So I was doing some of my research, and I thought I would share some of that to everybody. And I don't know if anybody wants to come on the show or not. I can put the the link. Let me see here. Copy. Let me see if I can put that in the chat. Again, you have to bear with me. First time doing it over here. Hopefully that came through. Looks like it. So, um, yeah. So what we're talking about. Share my screen. Got this little bad boy going on today. So it's been at 6,500 here for I guess last day or two. And I'm not sure if everybody knows what this exactly is, but this is the 88 Maxx sign version out of 100. And this is actually released by Upper Deck when they um, got the rights to Maxx and some of the inventory. I don't think they got it all. They didn't get everything. I think they took what they wanted and left the bad stuff or whatever. I remember seeing. I think there was a lawsuit from a Canadian printing company trying to get their money from the printing. So, oh, we have somebody here. See if I can add you in. Hey, Misha.
Hey,
Thanks for
how's it
joining.
going?
Going good. Just was talking about this card. There's a lot of misconceptions about this card. You know, everybody thinks maybe it was in '88, but it was actually pulled because of go figure copyright. What's the one thing about Earnhardt? He was the master of copywriting his name, likeness, and everything else to protect his intellectual property on that. And so Max printed all these up, hoping to put them in an '88 set, and that would have been amazing if he had done that or if they had done that. But he was a holdout, and so Max printed these, but they did not destroy them. They just put them on the side in their warehouse, which I would have loved to have seen. They had so much stuff heard. And so the version there, or the version um, non-autographed and without the 999, that the 999 came about. That was actually the first licensed version of this card here.
Would you consider this the grail of all NASCAR grails?
It's hard to get. It's kind of diluted down because of the non version, the 999 version, and then this version. But this is definitely the more rare of the three. It's definitely. I mean, it's hard to say.
Is
The,
it the Earnhardt grail?
I think it is of the three. This is the one, and I'll go into how this is was actually distributed. But so the first licensed one was the 1994 out of the Max Millennium, I think it was no medallion, and it was one per case. And it was a redemption. You got the letter, and we talked about it, seen it on King's Court a few times. And then so that was in '94, and then in '97, uh, I guess to celebrate Upper Deck reviving that brand, there were 50 signed cards in 1997 Max, and then also 50 signed cards in the 1997 year in review. And I can show you that. Um, I'm sure, Misha, you got all the versions of this.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, this is incredible. And then of course after I guess Upper Deck went out or whatever, or Max sold their assets. A, a bunch of the regular versions came out, and those are typically not even not authentic, not authorized, but it getting out in the secondhand market and folks not knowing what's going on. It's actually become adopted as a legit version. So I don't know if that makes any sense, but
Yeah.
um, now yeah, Ken likes the Press Pass Gold. I prefer that as well. Yeah, Kyle's asking about crossing over to PSA 10. That's I guess you have to look at it pretty hard, but it'd be nice. I guess maybe try that.
Would
Um,
you like send the slab in?
yes, yeah, I
Okay,
would not
because
crack it out. No.
yeah, you know they
Th- th-
don't. A
yes,
9.5 doesn't always equate to a PSA 10.
yeah,
So
most likely it wouldn't cross from a 9.5 to a 10, but if you crack it out, um, you got bigger cojones than me. So
what are the upgrades on it?
it's a 9.5 and a 10 auto.
Or the does it have the actual subgrades like the corners, edges?
Oh, yeah, we
Oh,
go
there they
back.
are.
Everything's 9.5.
Straight across the board. Okay. Whew.
Yep, and so it's number 37 out of 100, and it comes with the little certificate of authenticity. And let me see what we got here in the. So let me just dive into this real quick here. Let me share a screen just to catch everybody up. Where is it? Not that one. I think this one here. Okay. Let's see if it's coming through. Nope. Okay, there it is. So this is information that I have accumulated. Um, so the at a 9.99, it's actually 1,000 because there's a 000, uh, which I've actually seen. So that was the 9.99 was like so it was from the 94 um, Max Medallion, and then in 97 they did it for that. And let me go here. So I know I'm skipping around. Okay, so the 1997 year in review, and you can see it's a factory set. It looks like a little hauler there. And if you notice on the side there, I have in the top right, look for a hand numbered 1998 Dale Earnhardt autograph card inside. And then if you look on the left hand side, that's from the UPC number and the bottom. And it says that a Dale Earnhardt 1988 card, 50 hand numbered cards are randomly inserted. So I thought originally this might have been a redemption, but I'm thinking now that it might be live because the certificate of authenticity is the only thing that comes with it, and it's a card size, so you could fit that in a pack or whatever with it. So as opposed to being redemption, so that's 50, but the back of the card says 100, and then also in the 1997 Maxx race cards produced by Upper Deck, it says look for 88 Maxx Dale Earnhardt autograph cards inside, and then on the top panel there, you can see Dale Earnhardt autograph cards, 50 hand numbered cards as well. So that's where your hundred's coming from.
So it gave a chase for two different programs.
Yes, yes.
That's
So
not a bad way to do it.
no, and again, it was Upper Deck's first. Well, not their first, but uh, acquiring the Maxx inventory and assets and stuff like that. So that's where this is coming from. So it's legit. I thought it had the hologram on it, but I was wrong. It doesn't. It just like I said, it's hand numbered, and they have that authenticity with it. So let me get that back up here.
So if Panini were to get the rights to use Earnhardt, I mean, the obvious place for Dale Senior cuts or anything like that would be National Treasures.
Hmm.
But a chase to put one or two in every single program, like at least a redemption for one that's ready to ship, like I think that would be pretty cool. Like, hey, there's a redemption in here to pull a Dale Earnhardt auto. I think that would be a fun program
Oh yeah, yeah. Anything got Earnhardt in it. Yeah.
because we have cuts, we have those lithographs. There's obviously plenty of things Dale signed because he did sign a lot. There's you wouldn't say there's a scarcity to Earnhardt autos, but there are definitely some that tower above the rest.
Oh yeah, totally agree. And then this one popped up today. Somebody looks like is maybe hoping to get the underbidder here, 30,000 from Canada. So I did see that. And let me get the other one up here real quick. Let's go back. I think that's it right there. Sorry, Misha.
You're good. I'm reading Kyle's comment. Is Panini going to buy this card to use as a cut sig? Absolutely not.
That would be good, but
That would be sacrilege to cut this card up.
well, I guess if you were Upper Deck, you would. I've seen Upper Deck cut some cards, and then who else? What was there was another one that would cut them up as well. So I don't know if this is going to go any higher today or not. I would think maybe I was actually surprised it was at this. I don't know what everybody thinks in the chat what it's going to go for. Would love to know. I'm kind of stingy, and I've seen these go. I was talking with Logan. I was like, man, I wish I would have bought these years ago when they were like $500. Because I've seen them over the years, but this is like I said, it has a little pedigree to it when you can understand where this the hundreds coming from.
Let's see. So oh my goodness. 283 people have viewed this card in the last 24 hours.
Yeah, it's a
So
good
there's
one.
48 bids. We're coming down to 11 minutes right now.
And I looked at like the bids, the winners. It's not like somebody with zero feedback and it doesn't have 100% bidding, uh, bidding percentage. So
Yeah, I'm
look
seeing a
at
3161, 4820, 1900. It looks like it's a select 5 or 6 people who are bidding on this card right now.
yeah. And I was talking with Logan. This is one of our higher end being in NASCAR, and it's not it's still reasonable. And I know Logan had his hot take last week, about NASCAR being reasonable. I know this is still very expensive for everyday folks, but it's not the price of like a Cobb or Babe Ruth in baseball or the Wagner and stuff where it's um, multiple figures, anywhere from 10, 50,000, 100,000. So
Do we have an official number on the most expensive NASCAR card ever sold?
the one I was talking with Logan with, I think it went for, was it 10,000? Was the PSA 9 1972 SCP Richard Petty that went during COVID? I want to say it was, I think, at 10 grand. Probably could have went for 15. I think he had to buy it now at 10,
Oof.
and it went pretty quick. So
So that's pretty much agreed upon that that's the most expensive NASCAR card.
that's the last one. If anybody in the chat knows of one higher than that, I'd like to I'd like to know. But I can't really think of anything. We have this card. We have the dual signed Earnhardt
And PP.
Pearson. No, Petty, right?
That,
So we have the 1992 tracks, but there's also a 1997 or 1998 that came out of SP. Oh, we got another person here. Let me add them. Hey, Logan.
hey, buddy.
Yo, what's going on, guys?
Oh, we're just talking about the 1998 Maxx. Earnhardt signed here and about how you can find it in the 97 Maxx and the 1997 Maxx year in review.
We need to start buying some of those boxes.
That's what I was thinking. Um, there's a Maxx box out there. I want like that. I think they want like 200 and something dollars for the box, but the
Jeez.
year review can goes for anywhere like 10 to $20, I think. So, but and Logan, I know we talked about before where the 97 year review said there's 50 hand numbered, and then the 1997 Max says there's 50 hand numbered. So that's the 100. So as Misha pointed out, it was in two different product runs there. I don't know exactly what the industry term you mentioned there, Misha.
That would be a crap. It's just you're basically a split product, split program. I turn my brain off work
Yeah, no,
when we
I
get
understand.
home, so I
Sorry to
can't.
put you on the spot there, but glad to see skid marks and high octane cards. Chase Blaylock in that. Yeah, this is really exciting. We haven't had one of these in a while. Logan, last time I remember having a high dollar card was probably the 1972 STP Richard Petty. I think it was a PSA 9 at the time, and it was the first. Well, that was one of the big ones, and it went kind of early in COVID.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I remember that. It was during COVID, and I think it went for like 15,000. So I don't know if that was artificially inflated because of all the hype going on for everything during COVID, or if that's a legit price. Who knows?
but there is only one PSA 9, and that was it.
True.
There's no 10, and
No.
there's a low pop on those petties. I don't know. I was gonna say like 83 Uno Earnhardt, but again, this is signed, autographed, and it's legit authorized Earnhardt here. So
It is a cut across card.
okay,
Cut across, and going back to the numbering, there have been instances where when Tim Trout was doing the hand numbering, he messed up a couple. Like he would
Huh.
just make an erroneous mark. He would number the wrong. He would do the wrong number. Do you think it probably is possible that there's not actually 100 of these?
Maybe.
I mean, they get in collections and they don't come out. Um, Again, there's only 100 of them, and like the gold. Was it 99 press pass gold signings? They're beautiful cards. They're very rare. They get in collections and they don't really come out. And they could be, hey, there could be some still stuck in the wax, need to be released.
And what do you think the estimated print run of these two products that were? Do you think there's billions of base cards?
I don't
Probably.
think so. I don't. Good, Logan.
I would say probably a NASCAR radio buttload.
See, I disagree because remember this is Upper Deck taking over for Maxx.
Well, yeah.
And so Maxx had floundered there, and as I was saying, Maxx owed that Canadian printer money because I did a Google search and that came up.
5
I think
minutes.
okay, I think I had searched out like Jim McCullough, and he was still named as like in the lawsuit or whatever, trying to Canadian printers trying to get their money. So I don't remember because like they were supposed to print Odyssey and they were supposed to print some other stuff, and so Upper Deck would have been had to fire up the printer. I don't know if they printed a ton of this or not, but it's hard to find information for these two. I was looking in my archives and it kind of peters out there at 97, 96.
Well, looking at the back of this card, they didn't put the Upper Deck hologram on the back of it.
You know what? I thought if you would have bet me money, I would have bet you that it was on there because I thought it was, but I guess that's what this hologram is because it has the Upper Deck hologram on the back of it.
So I noticed this is the Charlotte. Was there a Myrtle Beach version of this card?
No. It's
No.
they only did, there was only one printing of it, and like I said, they had pulled it, didn't destroy them, and just put them on the side.
Gotcha.
And actually, a few of these had gotten out early on, and they were like thousands of dollars back when you would trade through the bulletin boards or whatever. And that was before the other stuff got out that it was unauthorized. Because Maxx actually was busting on people, I guess, had uncut sheets and other things that got through out the back door. Because they must have had very lax security, or unless security was the one pulling the stuff uh, and taking it out the back door. So
We're at 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
all right, so will it move at all?
Will this get hit with the new extended bidding feature?
Yeah, that's what I'm wanting to know. If this is going to go into overtime.
Yeah, it's only fitting, right? Because of NASCAR overtime. So we'll see.
Yeah, we've got a caution. We got green, white checker. Who knows?
Unless it's like Chicago and buried deep in the tires, it's okay. Just rub dirt on it.
Yeah, he's only unconscious. Don't worry about it.
I'm glad he's okay. That was
Me too.
brutal impact. Man. Look for your SVG instant cards in the next day or two.
Sounds good.
Let's see. What are we down to? 2 minutes.
So Kyle Katz said, I'd like to know more, Kyle. What did you actually find? What did you pull? I wonder what he pulled. Just something about the authentication sleeve. So that is unless that was the 98 Maxx medallion, I guess was. I know that I guess some of that had those upper deck authentic, because you can get those buybacks. All right, 1:40. We shall see.
Still no budge on the price.
No, I mean that's still pretty hefty here, and we're gonna see if there's extra life after the 6,500. But
yeah, I predicted it would go for 6,500, and heck, it got to 6,500 like real quick, and then just stalled out. So who knows?
yeah, so the thing is, you can I guess you can go to the PSA vault and save on sales tax for that. So when you get that kind of money, sales tax is actually quite a bit. So
1 minute.
Yeah, we got now. Yeah, now we're in the seconds now.
Here we go.
This is going to be interesting.
Yes, it will be.
Logan, rub your lucky fire suit to make it go up.
Okay, hold on. I'm rubbing it. I'm touching it. Hold on, I got it right here. I'm rubbing. Rubbing is bidding.
There you go.
30 seconds.
Yeah.
Everybody's waiting on those last second bids here in the last 5 seconds, whatever those snipes are. So
we'll see. Oh boy, it's going to be. My heart's actually pounding pretty fast right now.
10 seconds.
Here we go. We're gonna count it down. 10, 7,000, 6, 5, 4, 3, 9, $7,900, $10,600.
Oh my God!
And winner is $10,603.
Wow, I bid on it, but I stopped at $88,888 and $78.78. I was
Where are you getting that kind of money, Logan? My goodness.
This is probably all his national money. Wow. So that's right up there with
dang.
Petty. We're gonna have to check our records here and see what the Petty actually went for that PSA 9. That is incredible.
So the winner has 1,369 reviews. That sounds good.
Yeah.
51 bids.
Yeah, I was bidding. I was sitting here. I had my easy sniper. Then I had another bid on my iPad, and it went above what I was willing to pay. So
it went way above what I was willing to pay. That's incredible. So I guess it's kind of a new Grail version of this here, or because we always talk
Yeah.
about the '88 Max being Earnhardt being a Grail card, so this is incredible.
So
So
does it
it set
go
a bench.
above the 72 STP?
What's that?
Does this rank above the 72 STP as in
Uh,
design now?
Rich Hopkins said he was the underbidder at 10,503.
Oh
So,
wow,
is there anybody on here? Did anybody on here win it? That's what we want to know.
yeah, wow. Well,
If you won, raise your hand. We want to know, and we want to have you on the show
oh
when
yes,
we record
definitely,
it tomorrow
yes,
night.
definitely. This is incredible. Yeah. So, Misha for the petty that that's has its own story of being super scarce um and that's just non-signed card or whatever. This is more of I don't say artificial scarcity, but it's a variation of the card. And
So
so
it's 1A, 1B.
well, there's actually three versions, the 999, this version,
Yeah.
and just the other version. So but that does not take anything away from it. I guess you need to mention these two in the conversation.
So, Kyle Katz, he was spot on, man. He said it would be a $10,000 card, and he was right.
He was right.
So, all I've got to really say to that is,
Yeah, yeah. And of course, you missed the yeah. So where was it? I think Chase was asking like, has anybody seen an Earnhardt Uno autographed? I have not. I've looked. I've never seen one of those. That would be like a PSA DNA authenticated '83 Uno would be incredible, but um, I've not seen one. I haven't seen a '86 Fleer, '86 Sports Star Photographics either. They're possibly out there.
so Rich says that he wanted to do 12K, but he just couldn't do it. But now he wish he had. I know how you feel about that. I wish I had gone higher. But he says his brother has a PSA 6 with a 9 auto. Heck, that's still a stellar card right there.
Yeah, that's no slouch.
No, it is no slouch whatsoever.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Some of these, not variations. Some of these cards, um, there's not a lot of information. I looked in the Beckett. Um, I don't know if everybody has, one of the older Beckett's. Always have an older Beckett in your library. Uh, you know, it really doesn't mention anything about the 97 year in review, but like I said, on the box, factory box, which I showed, it does. If you look at trading card database in the 97 Max racing, they mention that it's at 100 version. So some of these things are kind of obscure if you weren't around or collected there, or you haven't heard about this. So I could see if anybody can pull some of those, or if you had a show and you see some of these wax, maybe pick some up. Might be worth pulling. Because Logan, I'm wondering, if these were live, because of the certificate authenticity is small card size, that it could be live in a box, and it doesn't say, it's a redemption on the box. It just says look for those.
yeah, exactly.
Now the 94, you got the letter, so that was definitely a redemption.
So I want to talk a second about the number of this card. It's number 37 of 100. I like that number actually because he's car number 3 and he has 7 championships. So there you go.
Internet 101.
Yeah, it's an internet eBay one of one. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Kyle, a 91 IROC Earnhardt would be incredible. Now, I would imagine there should be some autograph ones of those around, because those are given at the Dodge dealers, and if anybody had those, if they did those at the IROCs, they would have been signing.
All
Oh
right. I'm
gosh.
going to hop off here.
Yeah,
So
no, thanks, Misha, for jumping
enjoy.
on. It was incredible.
Yes.
Yeah,
Thanks, Misha.
Y'all have a good one.
yep, man, that's congratulations to the seller and the buyer on that one.
No doubt. So I guess nobody on here got it. We 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 almost had somebody get it, but dang, Rich. So Rich, I don't know what you do for a living, but man, that's awesome, dude. That you were wanting that card and you almost bid 12K on it.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's already graded 9.5, and the autograph of 10. I mean, I mean, other than having a 10-10, this is incredible. So,
Oh, no doubt. I mean, we were talking. I think you and I were talking earlier today. You know, this card for me would have to live in that holder because there's no way in God's green earth I'm going to crack that holder. You know, because if I damage that card, cracking it out, that's I would be devastated.
yeah, I was looking at high 10 cards there to go along with Chase's question. Like to see a Tim Richmond autograph Uno card. Yeah, either Uno or the 86 Sports Star Photographics. I've never seen any. Technically they're possible, but I've never seen them.
It would be extremely rare.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, let's see. Ken says 37 was a car number of one of his favorite drivers. I think he's maybe talking about Jeremy Mayfield.
Maybe. Wow, that's incredible. I can't believe that thing.
You know, I really, I really wish that Rich would have won it because he would be on here.
Oh yeah, I know. Oh,
We
yeah,
could get him to call in and talk about it.
yeah. I'll have to find out who if we can find out who got this. This is incredible. Incredible
Well,
card.
maybe.
And again, for NASCAR cards, this is great. So I mean,
Oh yeah,
there's some gems out there, and I'm sure there's some in those unsealed wax too. So
now Rich, you're my kind of guy. Um, I would pretty much crack almost any card myself. This is one I probably wouldn't crack, but definitely it would have to go to PSA. I'm with you, brother. That's
yeah, it's big cojones to do that. So I
It does
applaud
take
that.
big cojones.
Yeah. So I don't know. So that's yeah, PSA labels it correctly.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I would probably do I don't know, maybe because you can do a crossover. I don't know how well it would be keeping it in the holder, and basically do a min grade. Probably, most likely wouldn't come back at 10, but I guess it's possible. I mean, we looked at the subgrades; they're all 9.5s across the board, so it's kind of a
Yeah,
so,
Ken, you're talking about the 37. Look up. Can you see up there? Look at the front bumper off the 37 right there, right right above me.
let's see. I can put you
So, yeah,
there.
there you go. So yeah, you can see ooh, I got pennants. I got stuff everywhere, man.
Yeah, there's not a lot of free space.
No, I don't have any free space because my space is so limited that I try to take advantage of every little inch I've got. Um, but yeah, so hey, Rich, are you going to be at the National by any chance this year? I will be there. Unfortunately, Val is not going to be able to make it. If you're going to be there, um, you know, look me up or DM me, and I can give you my phone number. Maybe we can get together, go around, and look at cards. I don't like I said, I don't know if you're going to be there or not, but I definitely will be there.
I want to thank everybody that joined us tonight. This was great and, and a lot of fun. There was some last minute bidding or last second bidding, I should say. It was last minute, so that was really cool.
Yeah, that was literally last second. So Rich says he's cracked 10K plus cards to have them signed. He's not extremely nervous, but he hasn't damaged any either. So whew, I would be nervous.
Yeah, I can see. What if you're gonna get them signed and to crack them out? I know a few. Well, we know a few guys who do some of that stuff. So if I did it, it'd be with their help. But I could definitely see wanting to do it, but to get stuff autographed.
Oh well, thanks, Misha. I appreciate you saying that. And Val has never been here.
Not yet.
One of
This,
these days, I hope he comes out here.
yeah, this year we'll be there.
Okay, that'll be cool. I can't wait for that. So I like what Ken says here. We need a racing card national. I totally agree. Yes,
Yes, yeah. The closest we get is the show at Indy, but it's more, um,
it's more indie centric.
yeah, and memorabilia type stuff than
I,
cards. Yeah, I wish we. It's such a niche market, though. I'd love
I
if
love
we
I
had a
love
racing.
memorabilia.
Oh no, I know that, but I'm just saying, if we did a racing memorabilia and card show,
Yeah.
but try to get everybody together all in one weekend or something would be tough.
So yeah, this is a heck of a night. This is a historic night. I'm actually glad that we've got this recorded. That's awesome. The
So Kate, good. I'm sorry.
I was going to say the old person in me almost said, "I'm glad we got this on tape."
So like, Cade was asking about the most rare NASCAR autograph in our opinion. Some of the early guys are really tough because they didn't live very long, and there wasn't much to autograph other than programs and stuff. So,
Yeah. Well,
um,
for what I would say is I would have to say that Red Byron is probably up there because he was the first Cup champion, and there are so few autographs out there that even PSA doesn't have an exemplar. So that means they can't grade it. I've tried several times to get. I've got a couple Red Byron autographs. Try to get PSA to authenticate them, and they won't. And that reminds me, I need to take one to the national this year and see if I can get it done.
you almost need a signed check,
Yeah,
to get that as an example. Um, Fiber Roberts is tough, and
yeah.
I'll say like Wendell Scott. Um,
Curtis Turner is
yeah,
is
Curtis
another tough
Turner,
one.
uh, Fonty Flock,
Yep.
and I don't know about who else. So those are some of the guys who passed away early. Yeah, I know, right? But this was so amazing. I had to, took a nap today to make sure I could stay up for this.
Yeah, it's almost past Val's bedtime.
Yeah, so, but something like this, I can't remember the last time we've seen one of these guys go for sale. So,
Yeah.
um, amazing. Again, I really appreciate everybody
Yep.
jumping on last minute.
Little Joe Weatherly. Yeah, that's a tough one because he died at where'd he die? Was it Riverside when his head hit the inside of
Oh yeah,
the wall and
mhm.
killed him.
Yeah, and then they got the met netting after that, right?
So let's see here. Rich says he mainly does high grade wrestling cards and a few other sports as well. He grew up in Southwest Virginia and was lucky enough to meet Earnhardt a few times, Bristol and at Coburn Raceway. So that's cool, man. That's really cool.
Yeah, if you're in the South, racing was everywhere.
Hallie Emery, he's letting me know that I am
Riverside.
correct.
Yeah, yeah, those some of the tougher autos, and then when the cards were out, like I said, I always look for Richmond, Tim Richmond. I'm looking for a Benny Parsons 72 STP. That's one that I need, and I think Dick Brooks is the other one I need autographed. I do have
Yeah,
a Langley.
yeah, I like Ken's comment about LW Wright. That's funny. But yeah, this was a stellar night. It was incredible. At least I got to participate in it as far as the bidding was concerned. I honestly, I didn't think it would go over 10,000. I was thinking like maybe 8 to 9,000 would be the range for this card. But it just goes to show you, it's like what we've talked about on the show many times. Um, Dale Earnhardt's cards and memorabilia and autographs are currently selling at a premium. and this, you know, you know, totally solidifies what we've been saying.
I think the Earnhardt documentary helps. And I mean, if Panini can just get a license, man, I kind of feel bad. Yeah, the new folks, you know, it's been 20 something years after Earnhardt passing, and it's kind of, I hate to say, out of sight, out of mind, but I'm glad the documentary is out to kind of re-educate folks or remember, not to be forgotten some of the
Yeah.
stuff that he did. So, like we talked about before, I don't know why there's not a USS Dale Earnhardt aircraft carrier or B-2 stealth bomber or whatever.
There used to be a B-2 stealth bomber.
It's like, yeah, that would a lot of folks would know. Like, yeah, we're gonna send the Dale Earnhardt Senior B-2, and it's like, oh shit,
Yeah, it's we're gonna really rattle some cages now.
exactly. So, I mean, this is bigger than life persona there. So
So
amazing.
this was cool. This was great that you decided to do this, Val. I didn't even think about it until you told me you were going to do it.
Yeah, while I guess I don't know, I can't remember when I saw it was like $6,500. I'm like, you know what? We haven't seen one of these in a while, and yeah, maybe it'd be good to have a little watch party. And then I think Haley mentioned something about a watch party. I was like, I was already starting to work on it, so I'm like, oh yeah, I don't know, people would jump on last minute, but I really appreciate everybody doing it. That it's cool.
Yeah, yeah. I appreciate everybody's participation in this and all the comments. It's really awesome.
So there was one about Ralph Earnhardt.
Oh yeah, let's see. Yeah, Ralph Earnhardt. That's another one. I have a couple of Ralph Earnhardt autographs, but again, PSA has no exemplars whatsoever, so they will not grade them. So I don't know. Maybe one day. It's who knows.
Yeah, and then Rich was had the comment in there. He thought it would go for like 12 to 15. Is open
Yeah,
for bargain. Well, there's that underbidder. I mean, there's not. I mean, not an underbidder. I'm sorry. There was one out there that's Logan, you showed me out of Canada that they was a had some crazy price on it, but best offer. So
yeah. That thing was. They've got a buy it now price of $29,999 for a. It's a Beckett 9 with an autograph 9.
yeah, so double nines.
So yeah, that tells me that card should actually probably maybe a $5,000 to $6,000 card. Based on this price, because now that there's a comp out there for this, you can't justify spending 3 times the money for a lower grade card. So just not going to happen.
Yeah, totally agree. So all right, we're after 10, and again, thanks for everybody for joining on this. I guess Logan will record tomorrow here, but preemptive for this. So
I hate to tell Cade, but not right now. I'm going to hold on to them till I can get at least one of them authenticated. Then once I get that done, if that ever happens, then I might think about the other one. But for now, I'm just going to hold on to what I got because they're tough. You just don't see them. It's over. It's over here
on
somewhere in
aisle
this.
3,
Yeah, yeah. Ralph Earnhardt autograph on aisle 3. Um, but I
you
need
go
to
to
take
Logan's
that
house.
too with me to the
Yeah,
national.
you
So
you go to Logan's house, you go to different aisles, you got the button push for help, like in the Lowe's. Help needed in the Earnhardt aisle. Help needed in the Earnhardt aisle.
yeah, Ralph Earnhardt autographed items are rare. The ones I've got are cuts, and they're like cut out of like a sign-in sheet that you would have like at a racetrack when you're signing in to participate in the race. That's what I've got. So they're just cut around right around the autograph. So
Yeah, I
they're
mean, you're gonna find, for that, those guys were signing in, so you're gonna find it on checks, you're gonna find it on sign-in sheets or entry forms or whatever. Maybe in a program. I don't know, but they're tough. Those, finding those guys. Yep. So, all right, we'll wrap it up here. Again, thanks for everybody and for jumping on today, and we will talk to everybody next week's show.
Yep. Thanks, everybody. We're going to record tomorrow night our regular show, and we're going to talk about this. So be prepared for more
A
88
little bit
Maxx
more. A little bit more.
Earnhardt autograph cards.
Yeah. All right, we're out of here.